Hello. So we've spent a little bit of time this last week going over the history of documentary photography more generally, and looking at some videos and readings covering that, and then we kind of moved on to looking at more personal approaches to documentary. So what this next assignment is going to entail is you adapting these techniques and thinking of a topic that is something instrumental in your own life, something that you are intimately familiar with, something or someone who would be, an interesting topic for other people to see, but that you have a lot of experience with and know a lot about. So this project invites you to turn your camera towards the familiar, people, places, routines you know intimately. The aim is to use photography as a tool to uncover depth and meaning in the everyday. So again, it should be something or someone that you are very intimately familiar with and know well. So again, it's kind of highlighting overlooked stories within your own world, within your own life. So by working with subjects you already know well, you'll be challenged to move beyond surface level kind of snapshots, or more kind of objective, distant views of a subject, and to capture images that convey intimacy, nuance, and a very personal perspective. So by photographing what you already know intimately, you'll, push yourself hopefully to look deeper and show a story only you can tell, something that you are uniquely situated to explore, that you are the expert on already. So what you're going to be turning in for this, you're going to be creating an essay that accompanies the work. The essay should be, again, not generated by AI. This is exactly your experience of your subject, right? This is something that you know and are uniquely positioned to tell us about visually and to tell us about in text. So the essay should be, again, really an exploration of this subject and, your experience of it and what you're bringing to it. So you're going to also create 8 to 12 photographs, right? A personal body of documentary work that explores your own life, relationships, identity, or community. So you're not going to look at all of those. You're going to pick one very specific facet to explore, right? It could be a person, it could be a group of people, it could be, a location and the people who inhabit that location. But again, it should be something that is a part of your life that you know well, not just something that you're a cultural outsider of. Um, so you'll use the camera not just as an observational tool, but as a way to reflect, connect, and reveal something meaningful about your experience about this subject. So you'll upload images to the group pool on the class Flickr page, by the due date. You'll turn in the JPEG versions there, and you'll be turning in the RAW versions as usual on Canvas. We have to look at the metadata in order to give you feedback. So when you upload your images to Flickr, please just make sure you either shot the project in RAW plus JPEG mode so you have unaltered JPEGs to turn in, or if you shot RAW, that you've converted your RAW images to JPEGs using software that retains all of the camera data. We have to be able to use this data in order to give you feedback. So the essay should also be uploaded on Flickr and on Canvas. So just make sure to upload the essay in the comments box with your image of the sequence in Flickr. So yeah, label each photo with the sequence number, your name and sequence number, so we know what order that we're supposed to view it is. Part of this is also coming up with, a sequential group of images that are not just sort of loosely formed into a series, but you've really thought about the order that these images should be presented in as well. All photos must be new work shot specifically for the assignment. And all photos must be shot in manual exposure mode with a DSLR or comparable mirrorless camera. So choose your subject first. Select a person, group, or place, or routine that you closely connect to. This might be a family member, a roommate, a close friend, your workspace, your neighborhood, any kind of routine or even a daily ritual, something that you connect with and feel that you're uniquely situated to give us information about. The subject should feel natural and accessible to you, something you can spend significant time with over the course of the project. The stronger you connect, the more powerful your photos will likely be. Research and observation. Before shooting, spend some time observing your subject with fresh eyes. Take notes on details, gestures, patterns, or quiet moments that might normally go unnoticed. Think about what you want your viewer to feel or understand about your subject. Again, this is going to be a subject that you are very familiar with and uniquely able to convey via image. So the 8 to 10 photographs you create should work together to tell a story or offer a perspective on your subject. So focus on a consistency of style, make sure the images all seem to be part of the same project, that they all work together visually. You can look at lighting, framing, color palette, mood. Pay attention to both wide shots that establish context and close details that reveal more intimacy. Strive to show your unique relationship with the subject, what you notice that others might miss. So you can think about these images as chapters in a book or paragraphs in an essay. It is sort of a photo essay that you're creating here. Each image should contribute something unique and also compelling without being redundant, right? So no two images should be overly similar. They should each fill in gaps in our knowledge and create a more whole view of what that subject is. So for the essay, this is going to be a short written reflection, right? 300 to 500 words. It's not very long. It should just kind of roughly explain why you chose the subject, what you discovered during the process, and how your familiarity shaped the work. The essay will be a graded part of the project, but it's not going to be the most important part. It's going to accompany the photographs. The photographs should, in large part, speak for themselves. So this is how you'll be generally evaluated. Number 1, your subject and connection. Do your photos show real familiarity and closeness? Do we feel like we're seeing an insider view? 2, story and flow. Do the photos belong together as a series? Is there a clear theme, mood, or narrative connecting them? Photo quality. Are your shots in focus, well lit, and thoughtfully composed? Do they look intentional rather than random? Have you really thought about composition and approach? Creativity and voice. Do your images show a unique way of seeing? Do you make interesting and surprising choices in framing or perspective? And your reflection and writing. Did you explain your subject choice and process? Did you share what you learned or noticed? So be sure to review all of the text on the assignment page carefully. You also need to view the slide lectures and assignment instructions video, in this module before starting the assignment. So make sure you just complete the module first and then start the assignment after you've kind of, really taken a look and thought about all of the elements that we're looking at in order to do this project. If you're not happy with your first attempt or want to raise your assignment grade after it's completed, you can always reshoot. So for any assignment in this class, except for the last one, obviously, because that's turned in at the end of the course, you'll always be able to go back and reshoot if you find you want to approach things differently after you get feedback, after, you are completed with the project and you think you might go about it differently. I gotta say, people who do this, who complete an assignment, especially this assignment, and then kind of go back, look at all the feedback they've been given, and then reapproach their subject after, going through all they've learned, it can also be a benefit. So this doesn't have to be your very final photo series devoted to this subject. You can definitely use what you learn and apply that to, creating a more refined body of work. So I very much am looking forward to seeing these projects. This is one of my favorite projects historically in photography, is the sort of personal approach, a sort of more diaristic approach to a subject matter that's really coming from a documentary place, looking to share something truthful and specific with your subject and with your audience. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm always happy to, go over any of these requirements, processes, techniques with students. So I look forward to seeing your work.